Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last part, we saw how Europe was already full of tension before the war. Countries were competing, building armies and forming alliances. It was like a dangerous situation waiting for one small event. And that event finally happened. This is the story of the moment that started World War I. In June 1914, there was an important man named Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary. This means he was going to become the next ruler of the empire. At that time, Austria-Hungary was a very powerful country, but inside its empire there were many different groups of people. Some of these groups were not happy. They wanted independence. One of these groups was in a region called Bosnia. Bosnia had many people who were connected to Serbia. Serbia was a nearby country, and many people in Bosnia wanted to join Serbia or become independent. This created tension between Austria-Hungary and Serbia. Now, Franz Ferdinand decided to visit the city of Sarajevo, which was in Bosnia. This visit was supposed to be peaceful, but it was also risky. Some people were angry about Austria-Hungary's control over the region. Among these people were a group of young nationalists. They believed that Bosnia should be free from Austria-Hungary. They were ready to take extreme actions for their cause. One of them was a young man named Gavrilo Princip. On June 28, 1914, Franz Ferdinand and his wife arrived in Sarajevo. They were traveling in an open car through the city streets. At first, everything seemed normal, but there were people waiting. At one point, a bomb was thrown at the Archduke's car, but it failed. The bomb missed the target and exploded behind them. The Archduke was safe, but the situation became tense. Even after this attack, Franz Ferdinand decided to continue his visit. This decision would change history. Later that day, something unexpected happened. The driver of the Archduke's car took a wrong turn. By chance, the car stopped near a small shop, and right there, standing on the street, was Gavrilo Princip. He could not believe his luck. This was his chance. Without hesitation, he stepped forward and fired 2 shots. One bullet hit Franz Ferdinand, the other hit his wife. Both of them died shortly after. This was not just an assassination. This was the spark that started everything. Austria-Hungary was shocked and angry. They believed that Serbia was responsible for the attack. Even though Serbia did not directly control the attacker, Austria-Hungary blamed them. After a few weeks, Austria-Hungary made a strong decision. They declared war on Serbia. Now, remember the alliances we talked about in Part 1. Serbia was supported by Russia. Austria-Hungary was supported by Germany. So, when Austria-Hungary attacked Serbia, Russia decided to help Serbia. This made Germany angry. Germany then declared war on Russia. Soon after, Germany also declared war on France because France was an ally of Russia. Then Britain joined the war against Germany. In just a few days, a small conflict between 2 countries became a large global war. This is why the assassination of Franz Ferdinand is considered the starting point of World War I. But here's something important to understand. The assassination did not create the war alone. The real reasons were already there. The tension, the alliances, the militaries, and the nationalism we talked about before were all part of the problem. The assassination was just the trigger. It was like lighting a match in a room full of fuel. And once the fire started, it spread very quickly.
No one could stop it. Leaders thought the war would be short. They believed it would end in a few months, but they were wrong. This war would become much bigger and much more dangerous than anyone expected. Millions of people would suffer, countries would be destroyed, and the world would never be the same again. But how did the war actually begin? How did countries start fighting each other? What happened in the first days of the war? That is what we'll see in the next part.